The plot of the Tower of Fantasy is actually incomplete. That's the real reason why many people can't understand it. Why did Xiaofeng re-record the plot series? It's because the plot in the game lacks important content. And these contents are precisely the key to unraveling the truth of the plot. Take this update as an example. In the previous plot, the protagonist and her party arrive at the new Domain 9 in order to deal with the invasion of Monster Darkness. Rebuild the Tower of Fantasy. However, in order to activate the Tower of Fantasy, authorization is required. But an accident occurred during the authorization process. So Hycro's headquarters sent people to investigate. Then you go to Domain 9 to investigate. This leads to the plot of this episode, where visitors come from the world outside. In the plot, we will help Special Envoy Hycros together investigate the problem of Domain 9 Tower of Fantasy. But during the investigation process, there is a plot that doesn't appear in the game. Oh, what? Fortune and misfortune depend on each other. That's right, that's the conversation here. I believe many people have seen it. But did you think where exactly it came from? It is the leading PV from the version, not in the game. If a player only understands the plot through the game, then he will miss out on these rich segments. If this kind of plot is only a small amount, that's all. Unfortunately, these plots that only exist in PV still occupy a considerable amount of space. This creates a bias in the player's understanding of the plot. That's also the reason why Xiaofeng re-recorded the plot. Only by combining PV content with game storyline to piece together a complete plot. In the previous issue, Xiaofeng led everyone to know Plotty from Hycros' headquarters. She is the rotation authorizer of Gesto's network. The authority level is the same as that of Archon Elric, executive officer of Hycros. She and Breevy's best friend Yanhua came for investigation. Through Yun, the head of Infinite Sundial, we know that routine troubleshooting did not detect any issues. Now we can only personally identify the problem. After the authorization of MS-YU, we can investigate the control center of the supercomputer Tempo's supercomputer. Speaking of Tempo's supercomputer, I believe everyone is already familiar with it. It is our first time to participate in the Heartway test in Domain 9. Encountered a serious person. It is also an interpretation of the important existence of Darkform in the ruins of Hendepek County. Tempo's supercomputer is composed of massive server groups. The image we see of Timestamp is just his virtual leather case. The real central control room is located on the second floor of Infinite Sundial. Because Tower of Fantasy adopts real-time plot mode, it will make people's eyes overwhelmed. So we will do some slowing down processing. When we first enter the central control room, everyone walks facing inside. Only Breevy is facing us. She also said hello. These are the small details of Breevy's character. But I'm sure not many people will notice. Yun, who walks in the front, introduces to us. Tempo's supercomputer is now mainly responsible for Darkform's interpretation. At this time, Breevy and Yanhua observe the wise servants nearby. Two little smart servants are resting on the sofa to recharge. Here, let's first add the personal information of the two people. In the latest activity storyline of the game, we learned about the encounter between the two from the conversation in the coffee shop. Breevy and Yanhua are both fans of the magic girl Chilara. Once, both of them subscribed to the latest manga. But because the shopping address is the same as Hycros, the seller thought it was a duplicate order, then cancelled one of the orders. When the comics arrived, they were taken away by Yanhua first. This made Breevy misunderstand. Thought Yanhua stole her express. Fortunately, the two of them investigated the truth thoroughly, solved the misunderstanding, and become friends because of the same hobbies. Although both of them are fans of the magical girl Chilara. But Yanhua's level of middle 2 is much lower than Breevy's. This can also be seen from the way the two express themselves. Breevy compares the intelligent servant to the devil in the magic world. It can be seen that her weapon, Nets, may also exist like an intelligent servant. Hycros' research on intelligent servants is not weaker than that of Domain 9. This may be the source of Domain 9's intelligent servants. It shows that intelligent servants' cooperation is between Asperia and Domain 9. Why do we need to distinguish so clearly? Of course, it's because District 7 and District 9 have different ideas. The cooperation between District 9 and Domain 9 is in the aspect of smart servants. The cooperation between the 7th District and Domain 9 is on timestamp. Remember that Xiaofeng always complained about Tian Lang before? He represents Yulin, the executive officer of District 7. After entering the Domain 9, every time he travels back and forth between two places, which reveals mystery. Now we finally know the answer. Tian Lang has been responsible for the cooperation of the timestamp system. This can explain why Tian Lang gave us the cooperation of intelligent servants. He followed Mimi to Joltville. He's not doing research on smuggling plants, but to be closer to the core of timestamp system Tianzhang Pavilion. Sure enough, none of the characters in the Tower of Fantasy have fuel-efficient lights. Until MS-YU has finalized the cooperation. We only then learned the truth. For example, timestamp technology. Governor Yulin of Hycros once expressed his willingness to use timestamp in Vera to cope with darkness. Mimi of Tianzhang Pavilion has been following up on this research. At present, the timestamp system is the correct use of Omnium energy. Will the future Omnium energy systems become timestamp systems? Can Fantasy of Tower really become a Pac-Man? Okay, let's get back to the plot. Breevy called the place where the intelligent servants charged the magic fountain. Then she spoke of her own magical fountain. From the description, it can be seen that the magic fountain of the intelligent servants is a place to rest and recharge. Then the preferential treatment mentioned by Breevy is the place to arrange accommodation. Yanhua also mentioned this point. Who would be the kind-hearted person who tidies up Breevy's room? Here comes another small detail. Breevy, stay where she is. Wait until Yanhua joins up before continuing to set out. It has to be said that the Tower of Fantasy focuses on inconspicuous details. If it's not possible to replay it, these contents are completely unnoticed. But when you discover, you will have a better understanding of the characters. Then everyone stopped at the door of Darkform research room. Breevy showed interest in research. In the introduction of the file, She was bored because she completely mastered Asperia's technology. Only then will she start researching magic. If dark form can also make her interested, perhaps the magic girl's second year of middle school will decrease a bit. The opposite is Plotty. She is also an outstanding researcher. But she didn't show any interest. She just wants to find the reason for the abnormality of Tower of Fantasy earlier. What causes a researcher to lose interest in unknown things? Because it is known that. Do you still remember the origin discovered on the Yuan Wang? Although dark form first appeared in Domain 9. But as early as the interstellar migration journey, humans have already been exposed to similar entities and have studied for many years. I doubt that dark form's research record also exists in the headquarters of Hykros. Maybe she knows much more than everyone presented. Why not help everyone directly? Keep reading and you'll understand. When we reach the permission room, everyone is once again discussing the progress of the investigation. No hardware facility issues were found through automatic troubleshooting. Reedy proposed that the focus should be on Omnium Reactor. It may be related to the authorization of Gestos. But the next moment, Plotty directly denied the issue of authorization. I can guarantee that Gestos will never have any problems in the process of authorization activation as a rotating authorizer. She lied. There were indeed issues during the authorization process. This brings us back to the previous question. Why might she know dark form very well, but unwilling to assist in the research of Domain 9? It indicates that both parties did not be honest with each other during cooperation. At least Hykros has some reservations to Domain 9. This is to mention the real purpose of Hykros. We have learned that the headquarters of Hykros is connected to District 9. So what Archon Elric did in District 9? It also represents the meaning of the headquarters. It's not just because of Plotty's lack of honesty. There's also abnormal behavior in the 7th District. Asperia and Vera have long been connected, but never repaired Vera's Tower of Fantasy. Domain 9 hasn't even proved the existence of Comet Mara, and unanimously approved the proposal to build a new Tower of Fantasy. From Vera's proposal to Asperia's decision. Transformation after Domain 9. This process is exceptionally fast. But if the construction of the Tower of Fantasy goes so smoothly, why hasn't Meroria, which is short of energy, restarted Tower of Fantasy? This means that whether it's District 9 or District 7, they all took Domain 9 as the object of the experiment. It's best not to repeat the same mistakes. In case of another cataclysm, it will not affect Hykros. But these are just the surface manifestations that have emerged so far. What does the Magic Tower of Domain 9 really mean? We still need to see the future actions of Hykros. Then Plotty intimidated the people with an officer posture. Let's focus on Domain 9. From now on, I will lead this operation and no one is allowed to have any objections. She said a lot of extreme things about it. Yanua fought against Reedy to protect her. From here, Plotty also revealed more secrets. The heirs of Ida stole some confidential information after he captured Hykros. Hykros' program was also reprogrammed by Plotty. The Executor and Shirley saw that they were full of gunpowder. Hurry up and find an excuse to leave. At this point, they arrive at another computer room. They will find that Xiaofan is stuck in the corner, shivering and trembling. Can this be considered a bullying incident between robots? Return to Jinggong. Found Ming Jing reporting to MSYU. Mentioning the issue with the Tower of Fantasy. The 3rd generation timestamp system still cannot be used. It can be seen from this that in the future plot, the Tower of Fantasy problem must be solved. And we all know that the reason for this problem is because Nemesis in Shirley has awakened. If everyone really discovers the problem, where should Shirley go? MSYU sees us coming. Ask us about the details of our battle with Nanine. Nanine seems to be protected by a group of special darkness when she absorbs the energy in the crystal pole. This scene also did not appear in the game, but in the PV of Nanine. Special darkness is divided into 2 rows. Defend both sides like personal guards. So if you haven't seen the PV content, even the plot here may feel inexplicable, because you haven't even seen this scene before. Nanine is after seizing Crystamax in Ignisville, being backfired and taking damage. We also learned that there was an unusual darkness activity in the state. When we arrived with Ming Jing, we found that the domain guards have played bundling game. This scene is like the silk mesh of Vera Marsh. But there is a difference between the two. When we were in Vera, we saw Hive Mother's men. And here we meet Nanine's men. This shows that the evolution of Nanine has begun to approach the Hive Mother. This also supports the possibility that the two are the same existence. The new darkness is not different in appearance. But there will be a line connecting the bound domain guard. When its health is on the brink of death, we'll absorb the domain guard's HP to recover. But we don't know if it's due to settings or a bug. Domain guard's life will not be completely absorbed, but it will retain a blood skin. If it is a setting, that means Nanine still retains a trace of humanity, not completely eradicated. After saving domain guard, we found that Lu Hua and her brother were also here. Rome Jean was injured in dealing with darkness, thanks to Shirley's timely treatment. Then came the happy daily life of Lu Hua siblings. What's going on? Shouldn't my elder sister be afraid she won't be able to escape the injured? Watching this scene reminds Shirley of her brother Zeke. And her big grudge brother was still unknowingly comforting her. I believe he must have always been proud of you. Since the Mimesis task implicitly explained the relationship between Zeke and Ming Jing, the progress of the two's marriage recognition has been stagnant. I even suspect that I will wait for Shirley to leave the leading group again. Ming Jing can really restore memory. After searching for his sister, she found her brother. After searching for her brother and his sister, What a perfect cycle. Ming Jing returned to Aquaville first. We returned to the central control room of the Array Palace again. Don't rush to have a conversation when coming back. The control console next to it is controllable. This is the automatic troubleshooting device. Besides this, the dolls on the chair are also interactive. It's Plotty's doll, Palo. Talk to Plotty. She proposed that there was an unknown interference source in Domain 9, and began to speculate about the formation or timestamp system. At this time, the voice of Tempo's supercomputer sounded. Miss Plotty. Just kidding. There is also a missing plot here. That's the conversation between Plotty and Tempo's supercomputer. If you haven't watched this plot, you can't understand why Tempo's supercomputer just said a name. Plotty stopped. She also mentioned following the plan. Let's proceed according to our plan. Tempo's supercomputer, naturally, will do its best to help. This sentence is very crucial. Explain that Plotty returns to headquarters. It is very likely that she indulged in the pursuit of capture. She and Tempo's supercomputer made a joint arrangement. Waiting for Nemesis to take the bait. Reedy mentioned the problem of the Sundial Square again. The protagonist takes the opportunity to offer to visit Elon. So we got some data with the help of Elon. At the same time, we asked her opinion of Nanine during the waiting time. This is also what players are told. She is not only the former White Tiger who has made outstanding contributions to Domain 9, but also the culprit of the current disaster. About what Nanine did. It's hard to tell right from wrong. Just stick to your original intention. It seems that the authorities have failed to draw a conclusion for Nanine. Return to the central control room again. It's Plotty's death scene. What should I do about Haikao, Palo? This also caused the majestic image she had created to collapse with a loud bang. After seeing the different Plotty, our impression of her has improved a lot. Return to the Array Palace again to meet Mizu. Plotty is going back to the headquarters to continue the investigation. And Reedy's business trip is over. Before leaving, MS.Y proposed. Tempo's supercomputer is not good enough. He needs the help of Just Hose. The plot of the extraterrestrial guests has been fully analyzed here. More storylines are about to await the anniversary celebration. Alright, that's all for this issue. Follow Xiaofeng and experience a different